Hi, welcome to the Silverthorne Pulse. I'm Ryan Highland, Town Manager for the Town of Silverthorne, and I'm going to go over a quick overview of our most recent Town Council meeting. So we'll start with the work session. At the work session, Council and staff and some consultants had conversations about a number of items, including our Recreation Center expansion, and for this meeting we were specifically talking about the financing that we are seeking to undertake that project. So we had representatives from our financing team and consultant in the room to talk to Council about the process that is entailed with setting that financing up. It is a $29 million project for the rec center expansion, and so similar to buying a home mortgage, there's some financing involved. So had conversations there. And then in the regular meeting, which I'll talk about in a minute, took some formal action toward the end of financing. We also had a conversation. We had representatives from the Summit County in the room and talked about the Housing Helps program. Silverthorne and the county have participated in a partnership within the town boundaries on Housing Helps, which is a program where deed restrictions can be purchased or placed, I should say, on residential units with the further restriction that those are deed restricted in perpetuity for workforce. And so the conversation at council the other night centered around, would the town be willing to partner with the county to do 50-50 partnerships on those deals in areas outside of the town boundary, and council had an appetite for furthering that conversation and some interest there, given that we have lots of folks who are in the Silverthorne community but maybe outside of the town boundary, and a lot of folks who work in our community who may live outside the town boundary. So more to come there, but some interest from council in being able to expand that program. And the county's interest in making that ask is it's a very popular program and their budget is limited, and so if we were to partner outside of the town boundary, we can stretch the workforce dollars further. Had a couple of other items that we talked about, just briefly hit on updates from the staff that are working on the rec center expansion design, and so we're working with an architect right now, and we'll continue to report back to council on how that design process is moving along. And then also we do have an RFP, a request for proposal, that will be out soon to do the same thing for a police station. So we've got a need to secure an architect and their services to start planning that facility. Don't know where that facility will be yet. We have a couple of different options, and so part of the design there will be actually selecting the best site for that. And then finally we talked about the town of Keystone has a request to join the Summit Combined Housing Authority. Silverthorne is a member of the Summit Combined Housing Authority, as are all of the other municipalities in the county. And so per the intergovernmental agreement that establishes that entity, each of the municipalities in the county would need to approve any new members, and the town of Keystone would like to become a member. At the most recent Housing Authority meeting, we were able to meet with representatives of the town of Keystone, including their town manager, mayor, and council members, and have a conversation about housing. And so all of the entities that are participating in the Housing Authority are recommending that Keystone be a member. So we reported that to our town council, and at a future meeting we'll have the formal documents before our council that would bring the town of Keystone into the Housing Authority. So that was a summary of the work session. Then we go into this room for our formal meeting, and we had a couple of things to kick the meeting off. Really happy with our police chief, Alice Carey, and her efforts to get us up to full staffing in the police department. And so we were able to swear in two new officers, Officer Townsend Barron and James Robbins, got welcomed to the town of Silverthorne, and we're excited to have them as part of our police force in Silverthorne. We went to the consent calendar then, which is items that are of routine nature. Not much discussion at all there. They generally get approved immediately. And so a number of items, delegating a temporary or substitute judge if our municipal judge isn't here, some condominium plat work for the Opry Shores subdivision, and then another item related to the Recreation Center financing. just a resolution that says any work that we do right now, we could be reimbursed through the proceeds of that future financing. Then we got into public hearings. We had the second reading of an ordinance to purchase a residential unit, and so we have been purchasing residential units throughout town for town staff members to lease, and this was another purchase there. And we've talked a lot about in the past the expansion of the Trent Park facility and also the associated road connection between Willowbrook and the Smith Ranch neighborhood. And so part of that process, there's a bit of property that was actually in the county, wasn't annexed into Silverthorne, and so we have an annexation for the roadway there. And that was a first reading, so that'll come back at a future meeting. And then we had some ordinance work that was related to the things that we talked about in the work session, the financing of the rec center expansion. And so I think we're about, maybe on step 7 of maybe 13 steps of the process of getting financing in line so that when we are actually ready to construct, we have the dollars available to pay for that construction. Then I think the final item of the evening, we had an executive session. We have a lot of agreements with the developer Millender White for our 4th Street Crossing project in the downtown. One of those agreements calls for the parking garage that was constructed to actually become a town asset, although it'll still be managed by the developer. And so some discussion about the lease that would need to be in place to lease that back to them, and a few other items on those agreements. That's a summary of the work session and the regular meeting. Always invite you to reach out to us with any questions you have. Give us a call, stop by Town Hall, shoot us an email. And we also welcome you to join us at the meetings. So we'll see you next time.